And this presentation about the Temple of Literature. Before the Temple of Literature and Anakotuzam, the Imperial Academy were established. Um, Education in Vietnam was not highly centralized and standardized. Family and local scholars. Education was primarily informal and local. Family taught their children practical things, agriculture, and local tradition. During the early Li dynasty and previous era, Buddhist monks were the most educated class. People learned literacy, philosophy, and morality through Buddhist pagoda and monasteries. Wealthy or elite family hired private Confucian scholar to teach their children classical Chinese character, called chữ Hán in Vietnamese, and basic philosophical texts at home. And the Temple of Literature was constructed in 1070 under the Li dynasty by King Li Thánh It was built to honor the Chinese philosopher Confucius, his sages, and his talented scholar. It served as a symbol of education, literature, and Confucianism, aiming to elevate the intellectual standard of the country and cultivate loyal, educated officials for the royal court. Hmm. At first, only some highly qualified students were accepted, and criteria evolved over time. Initially, Li dynasty was strictly reserved for royalty, princes, and the children of high-ranking noble families. But later on, Tần and Lê dynasty, admission expanded to include exceptionally brilliant commoners from across the country. Students had to pass rigorous local examination to prove their elite intellectual capability before being admitted to study for the ultimate doctoral exams. Students learned and wrote in Chữ Hán, which was official administrative and academic language. The core curriculum revolved around Confucianism. Students memorize and analyze the four books and the five classics. The focus was heavily on literature, poetry, imperial history, and political philosophy, statecraft, and moral conduct to prepare them to become a righteous government administrator. In Vietnamese culture, the turtle is one of the four holy culture, including dragon, unicorn, tortoise, phoenix, is similar longevity, wisdom. Wait, hold on. Okay. Imperial period. It functioned both as a royal temple honoring Confucius and as nation premier national university, training allied official to the feudal state. French colonial war period. The school lost its function as a university when the capital moved to Hue and its Western education took over. It suffered damage during war and was heavily protected as a historical monument. Nowadays, no longer a functioning university but as a cultural, historical, and tourist landmark. It served as a place to celebrate education, where students come to pray for love before exam, and where outstanding graduates and scholars were official honored. Chu Van is revered as one of the most brilliant educators, philosopher, and writer official in Vietnamese history. He was appointed by King Trần Minh Tông as a Tương nghiệp of Quốc tử Giám, making him the most famous teacher to ever lead the academy. Known for his strict moral integrity, high standard, and deep care for students, when the court became corrupt under King Trần Dụ Tông, he famously submitted the seven behead, demanding execution of seven corrupt officials. When the king refused, he resigned and returned to the stellar life teaching.